Hello and welcome to the channel. It's your boy, Mr. Steve, with some smart money news you can use. And in case you missed it, we're breaking down a major Supreme Court ruling that could impact billions of dollars in collected tariffs. The Supreme Court struck down many of President Trump's sweeping tariffs, ruling that he exceeded his authority under a 1977 emergency law. So naturally, the question becomes, if those tariffs were ruled illegal and the government already collected billions, will Americans get refunds? That's what we're going to break down in plain English. So, without further ado, grab that notepad and let's go. Why? Because this one directly affects what you paid and what you probably won't get back. According to reporting from NBC News, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that President Trump exceeded his authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act when imposing broad country-based tariffs. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that the act does not authorize the president to impose tariffs of unlimited scope under emergency powers. As NBC reports, the ruling invalidates many of the so-called reciprocal tariffs, but not all tariffs overall. Tariffs imposed under other laws, such as steel and aluminum duties, remain in place. And shortly after the ruling, of course, President Trump announced plans to use other trade authorities under the 1974 Trade Act to impose new global tariffs. So while this is a major legal setback, the tariff story itself is far from over. Now, let's talk about the money. Next up, let's dive into just how much money we're talking about. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, reported by CNBC, more than $200 billion in new tariffs was collected in 2025 alone. Meanwhile, reporting from CNN Business notes that at least $134 billion, and possibly even more, could be tied to tariffs that are no longer valid under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. And the Penn-Wharton Budget Model, a nonpartisan economic research group at the University of Pennsylvania, estimates businesses could be owed as much as $165 billion in refunds. So we're not talking about small numbers here. We're talking about tens, possibly hundreds of billions of dollars already collected by the Treasury. Which brings us to the question everyone is asking. Up next, will Americans get a refund? According to CNN Business, the answer is almost certainly no, and here's why. Consumers did not directly pay the tariffs to the federal government. The importer of record did, meaning the businesses that brought goods into the country. Think of companies like Costco, Walmart, FedEx, and other major importers. Now, research from Harvard Business School's pricing lab shows that about 25% of tariff costs were passed on to consumers through higher prices. Now, the Tax Foundation, a nonpartisan tax policy research group, estimates tariffs cost the average American household about $1,000 last year. But legally speaking, consumers did not write checks to the Treasury. Businesses did. So if refunds are issued only to those businesses, does that mean consumers are simply out of luck? Not necessarily. Up next, let's take a look at what Americans should be watching for next. Here's the Smart Money News takeaway. Because consumers don't pay tariffs directly to the government, it's highly unlikely Americans will receive a refund check for tariffs. But there are still 3 things consumers should keep an eye on. Number 1, whether businesses receive refunds. Because the Supreme Court did not say whether companies that pay tariffs under the 1977 Emergency Powers Law must be reimbursed. And that question will likely be decided by the lower courts. Number 2, whether the administration replaces the block tariffs with new ones under a different trade law. Number 3, and whether policymakers pursue other ways to offset tariff costs for consumers. Because this Supreme Court decision isn't just about tariffs. It's about who has the power to set them and how those decisions affect the prices Americans pay every day. So there you have it. In case you missed it, the smart money news you can use. Let me know down below, are you noticing higher prices when you shop either online or at the grocery store? Do you think it's mostly due to inflation, tariffs, or a mix of both? And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to stay in the know. Also, tap this playlist right here for more smart money news that may affect you and your wallet. And until next time, I've got nothing but love for you, and keep hustling.